Yo guys, what's going on? Monday to 6 here, back with the 2002 Honda Magna. And today we're going to be installing this brand new Regina Professional chain kit. The chain that is currently on the Magna is a little rusted out. Some of the links are frozen and it's making a loud audible sound while driving. So it looks like the best solution will be to just install this brand new chain. Alright guys, hope you enjoy. Okay, we're going to come over here to the left side of the bike. We're going to follow this clutch linkage all the way down to here. We're going to remove this cover, which is 1, 2, 3 Allen heads. So let's go ahead and remove that. Once it's loosened up, you can go ahead and remove this cable for the clutch. Okay, we got the 3 Allen head screws removed. You can come over here. You can simply just push this forward and that cable will come out. Once that's out, try not to lift that completely out like I just did. Just pull this cover right off and that'll give us access to the sprocket and the chain. Okay, with this cover off, it does give us access to the front sprocket. While you're in here, if you want to look at some of the stuff or clean it up, I mean, just in here it's just totally nasty and covered in gunk. If you want to get your compressor out, you know, just to brush out and knock some of that stuff off. It's always just a good practice to have everything clean. Some of this shifter in here, this part's a little loose. I can try to tighten it up. This linkage right here definitely has some play in it. Might need a shim, but just there's play right here in the shifter. But just while you're in here, if you want to try to fix some of the issues, but this will give us access to this front sprocket. Okay, now that we got the cover off to reveal that front sprocket, we're going to come here to the back where we have the chain and the rear sprocket. So we want to start removing these items, loosening stuff up. Let's go ahead and remove this chain guard here. I believe it's just a couple bolts, but we'll get that out of the way. And then we will have some items to loosen up and remove, like the axle nut right there that goes through the swing arm and the rim. So we'll go ahead and we'll get to that. Let's just start taking stuff off. Okay, now that we got the chain guard removed, let's go ahead and start getting to some of these bolts that hold the axle on. Let's go ahead and loosen up these chain adjusters here. So we'll loosen up these nuts, get these nice and loose so we can continue to loosen this big old bolt that runs through the wheel and the swing arm here. Okay, we got these adjusters loose on both sides. Okay, here we are on the right side working with this drum brake here. So this linkage here, just back this bolt out. Make sure you mark this little arm right here. I'm going to mark it right where this line is here, so I know the orientation to reassemble it. And there is one nut here with a cotter pin. Just take this cotter pin out, remove that nut and washer, and this bracket will drop down. Let's go ahead and get that done. Got that drum brake and the other linkage removed. Next thing we're going to work on is getting this big bolt out here. This is the big bolt that runs through the swing arm and the rim. So let's go ahead and get this loosened up. Let's take this nut off. Okay, we got this big old nut loose over here. Got the washer, the plate on there. Looks like this big old bolt will be able to go through here. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab my swing arm stand and I'm going to lift this thing up, and I'm going to end up putting some jack stands underneath this rear swing arm so we can remove this rear tire. Whee! Okay, this is the center stand I have right here holding the back of the Magna up. As you can tell, it gets really close to that axle nut, gets really close to the exhaust here. I do have 2 jack stands under there. I have not lowered this center stand jack yet, but if you want to go ahead and try to remove it with this, if this is all you have, no jack stands, we're going to see if we can do that. If not, you can always jack the bike up, put jack stands on it, you know, one at a time. Just whatever you do, just be safe when you're doing it. But let's go ahead and try to get this removed right here. We'll take this nut off washer and we'll try to get everything removed. Okay, we got that big axle bolt going through this way. Just keep giving it some taps in. What I have is a big sludge hammer, that piece of wood, so I don't mangle the bolt, the threads on that bolt up. So simply just put it right here, thunk it with a hammer, and we'll keep going this way. Once it gets to the other side, we should be able to pull that big old bolt out. As you can see on this side here, you can see the bolt starting to come through. Let's just go ahead and keep taking this bolt all the way through, and it should release the rim and tire. Okay, you can see here the big bolts ready to come out. Just keep giving it a little bit of love taps right here. That wheel is almost there. Almost there. All right, we got it out. Now this rear wheel and tire should be free. Okay, this is what we got here. This is our chain. Should be able to take the chain off like that. Should be able to just remove this rear tire. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Oh, got the license plate in the way. Let's just bring it out this way. You gotta just be gentle. Alright. There we go. Got the wheel out. Okay, next step, you want to get the old chain off. If you want to just find the clip there, go ahead and grab yourself a flat screwdriver and we'll just remove that clip and disassemble the linkages there, and this chain should come out. Okay, once we get that front clip off, we should be able to remove the rest of the parts here for this linkage. Once we get this master link removed, the chain will simply just fall into two pieces. We got everything removed here. One piece of the chain. Let's go ahead and make sure this is in neutral. Spin the sprocket. And there we go. Chain is removed. Okay, like I said, while I have this out, I'm just going to take my screwdriver here. Just look at all this crap in here. This is just all the chain oil, just road gunk. Just a really nice opportunity to clean this up. I mean, you're going to put a brand new chain in here, you wouldn't want this crap to get on it. So, yeah, let's clean all this up. Okay, we got the sprocket loosened here. Just went ahead and grabbed a ratchet socket, loosened up this nut. Just make sure the bike's in gear. We'll hold this sprocket gear in place. Just loosen it up. I'm going to take it off, but I'm not going to install this yet. I'm definitely going to grab my air compressor and clean all this up. Okay, let's check out this front sprocket area. Looking good. Cleaned a lot of it up. Got a lot of that gunk out of there. Man, it's like 95% better. Not all the way clean, but there's no gunk, no big debris anywhere. Ready for that new sprocket and chain. Okay, let's get that front sprocket on. Okay, we got the new sprocket on. Looking good. It's on there. Also went ahead and tightened up this bolt right here on this linkage. You see it just slides in and out, but that's the play inside that transmission. This part right here, I ended up putting another washer. Took this screw out, lubricated it with grease, but this is what we got now. A little bit better than before. Just don't want to make it too tight or else this shifter lever won't be able to move. But just that little bit of maintenance while we get everything cleaned up here on the sprocket. Okay, next let's go ahead and get our chain, and let's get this rear sprocket on. Okay, here we are with the rear tire and the sprocket. Let's go ahead and remove these 5 lug nuts. Okay, got these 5 lug nuts on here, loosened up. Just go ahead, remove them all. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this old sprocket. I would suggest while you're in here, let's go ahead and look at your little rubber torque stops in here. See how this looks. So this looks like they've definitely seen a little bit better days. I want to take one of these out and just take a look. Just see how they look. They look worn out. I mean, they don't look bad. Sure. The bearings sound good. Okay, I've gotten inside this wheel assembly here pretty clear. Here is the mating surface of it, the other side. So I got that pretty clean. But while I have this wheel out, I'm going to take my Chemical Guys heavy metal polish here and my mother's power ball, and I'm just going to hit this wheel here. I wanted to clean it up, but since this is out, it'll make it so much easier. Let's go ahead and get this wheel shined up. Okay, this is what the wheel looks like with just some steel wool. Did that, just kind of took away all the crap that was on the rim. Now I'm gonna hit it with this right here, my metal polish, my power ball, to see what it does. A little bit of the power ball action. Okay, I think that looks pretty dang good for the little bit of the metal polish and that power ball. I know you can get like a mirror-like finish if you sand these down and then use some of the polishing compound. Maybe I'll get to that in the near future. I know this will need tires soon, but just wanted to make it shine a little bit better and wanted to make it look good with that new chain. Okay, ready for the new rear sprocket. Let's go ahead and put those 5 bolts back on. Okay, we got the rear wheel back in place. We've got the new sprocket. Got everything cleaned up nice and shiny. Let's go ahead and get our chain ready. Okay, here's our chain. Some extra links if you need them, and there's the master link. Let's go ahead and get this reassembled here on the Magna. Okay, we have the chain right here. Ran all the way on the front sprocket. Right here. You can see where the 2 ends are, here and here. I'm simply just going to grab the master link, which is right here. Just connect the 2 parts of the chain, make it one. Okay, we got the master link clip on. Took a little bit of trying. Used a couple vice grips. With sockets to kind of get this on. It's a little tricky, but went ahead, got it on. Okay, now that we got the chain on, rear tire on, both sprockets, everything ready to rock and roll, let's start reassembling the rear tire assembly. Okay, we got the chain on, tightened up. We got both of these little chain indicators on the same position. Looking good, sounding smooth. What we want. Let's go ahead and put this cover back on that the clutch cable runs to. Okay, we got that clutch cover on, working properly. Next, we're going to go ahead and put on this chain guard. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video of installing this brand new chain on the Honda Magna. And as always, Monday to 6. Out.